Hello everybody, it's me McBoneless, and yes, I am a bone. Astute observation. Anyways, I am here to talk about the Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green Switch version fiasco kind of going on right now. It has been blowing up the internet for the past few days, ever since they announced it on their Twitter, and I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out and kind of look at both sides of the main two arguments that are being presented. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Nintendo has presented here. So Nintendo has decided to release Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green, classic Game Boy Advance games that were part of a lot of people's childhood, including mine, of course. And they are deciding to put them on the Nintendo eShop, which is great, right? I mean, they have never been re-released since they have come out, so the fact that they're now being accessible is really great. That's really good, right? That's a good thing, right? That's good, right? There's not an issue with this, right? Right? Well, the main issue a lot of people are having with is the fact that one of the copies of the game, not both, one copy individually is being priced at $20. So if you wanted to get both of them, that would be $40, right? Now, this is probably not the biggest issue, right? Because if they're charging $20 for it, $20, right? They gotta be packing something else into the games, right? I mean, $20, that's like Hollow Knight Silk Song, right? That's Mega Bonk. Or I think actually, no, that's not true. Mega Bonk is like $10 or something, I'm pretty sure. But even so, these are 22-year-old games, right? Like, charging $20? Like, surely they're adding something, right? That's kind of the problem. That's one of the problems, actually. But before we go into that, I want to again present these two arguments here. So the trailer was released, it cost $20. So the main issue here, with it being $20, is that first of all, it is a 22-year-old game. That is kind of silly. But you know what? Nintendo kind of gets away with this stuff all the time, right? They re-release something, like they released Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom copies for $70, even though Tears of the Kingdom, well, I'm not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild is like, at the time of the release of the Switch 2, it was 8 years old, right? So technically, if you've never bought the game, it would be $70 off rip, which is crazy, right? Anyways, Nintendo, and both Pokemon and Nintendo company, they like to get away with this stuff. My main issue with this is that they are not adding anything additional to supplement the fact that it is $20. There's not going to be any online battling or trading. It's only local trading, only local battling. Now that is wireless, so I mean that's technically something that wasn't included. Unless you have the wireless dongle thing on your Game Boy Advance, right? But that wasn't included in the original game, so technically that's something they added. And then there's also going to be Pokemon Home compatibility, so that's I guess a plus, right? That is good. I'm glad they're choosing to do that instead of not doing that, of course. But I think it is a little bit much. It is a little bit much to have $20 if you want to get one of these games, $20 for just that game, right? And no added benefits. I think that's a little bit, it's not even a little bit. That's scummy. That is not a scam. It's just, that's not a good look, Nintendo, Pokemon Company. It's not a good look. And so there are usually two main reactions I've been seeing, at least on Twitter and YouTube, and that is the first one, which is, well, just emulate it. Right? Just cheat. Just emulate it. Just get it on your phone, download Pokemon Fire Red or Fire Red Leaf Green ROM. You can find it anywhere on the internet. It's free, right? You can get it going in seconds. It's free. You're getting scammed. You're getting scammed if you are buying this, right? You're actually a loser if you're buying this. That's not what I'm saying. That is what people are saying about this, okay? And I agree to an extent that yeah, you can just emulate these games really easily on anything, on a computer, on a cell phone, on probably a smart fridge. You probably could do it. You probably could pull it off, right? Then we have the other side, which is kind of like the, I guess, Pokemon super shills of Like, it's $20. Like, y'all don't got $20? Like, oh, y'all broke? Like, oh shoot, man. Like, all right, okay. Like, that's not the point. That's not the point. So we got people who aren't, obviously aren't scared to just spend $20 and get their favorite Pokemon games they had when they were younger. I mean, and in my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with that either, right? I'm fine with either one. If you want to emulate it, or you want to pay $20, okay, whatever. Another weird thing which people have also bringing up is that they deliberately chose not to include it on the Nintendo Switch Online like Game Boy player thing, right? So I initially when I saw the announcement, I was like, oh wait, that sucks. But what the heck are they doing? But the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, actually, I kind of would prefer that, and I actually even would prefer if all of the games are like that, because I very much prefer just buying something one time instead of having to pay a subscription. Nintendo Online isn't crazy expensive. It's like what, $30 or $40 a year, which if you have a decent income, that's not terrible, right? Especially before their subscriptions, which charge you monthly. But either way, you're paying for a game, right? And I think in order to do the Pokemon Home compatibility, I think they had to release the games like that, which I'm kind of fine with that. I just wish they were $20 each. Like, I feel like you could combine both Fire Red and Leaf Green, and they could both be $20 combined. I feel like that's not a crazy. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have necessarily an issue with that. So yeah, up until Pokemon Day, which at the time of me recording this is in like 3 or 4 days, this has kind of been the main controversy that has been spiraling in the Pokemon community. Now, in my honest opinion of all of it, after I've done some thinking, initially I was very much on like the emulation side of like, oh, it's such a scam, it's so really scummy by Nintendo. And I still do feel that way. I still do feel that it is very scummy by Nintendo to not only separate the games. I mean, just Pokemon doing that in general. Like they've always done that. They've always done 2 games instead of 1 game, which I guess is a way to technically increase sales. I don't know how much it increases sales, but having 2, releasing 2, like and it took me a while to realize this. I think it was until Sword and Shield that I realized that I'm like, we are literally getting gypped, like they're selling a Sword and Shield, and it's literally the same game, except with like very minute differences, such as the box legendary and then like the version exclusives of Pokemon. Like, we are literally getting practically scammed, which is, I mean, it's kind of an insane thing to say, but also normally people just get 1 copy, like one or the other. So I mean, that's kind of the solution to that, right? I guess, and then you want to trade with your friend, and to that extent, I guess that does kind of help its case in that regard, but it's still kind of weird, right? Anyways, I'm rambling. So yeah, initially I was like kind of like on full emulation, but now I'm kind of more. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, in the sense that, but again, initially I was really strong on the emulation side, but now I'm just kind of like, well, who cares? Like, if you want to buy the games, just buy the games. Like we're on this like pride war on Twitter of just like who's standing on the higher ground of emulation versus having money, I guess. Those are the 2 sides, right? I personally am not going to buy them because, again, I would just rather emulate them for free, and they're not really bringing anything. They're not really giving me a reason to want to buy them. Pokemon Home compatibility is cool, but like okay, for example, imagine if they had online play. These games had online play. You could online battle. That would be so fun. Like, just playing online Pokemon battles in the 3rd gen sandbox, right? Like that sounds really fun. Like, that actually sounds really cool. And then you can officially do it too. Like, they could have totally done that, and that would have been really fun. But they chose not to, right? They chose to keep it local, which always surprised me. Nintendo has always done that, which I appreciate that being an option, but it being the only option is kind of an issue. I mean, we're in an online world now, right? You gotta have some online compatibility with stuff like this. But yeah, just ultimately get whatever you want, get both of them, get one of them, get none of them, right? I hope in the future the Pokemon Company decides to add some more things that are just more enticing, because y'all are just selling us the same game that we all had when we were younger, and that are like, it's just really easy accessible. It's really easy and it's really accessible to play the game anywhere because of emulation, right? So it's like you're trying to control that, and you guys have the advantage. Y'all can add things to these games like online battling or something, which would have been so cool. Would have been awesome. Would have been great. But let me know what you're doing in the comments. Are you going to be emulating this game? Are you going to be buying this game? Are you a broke boy? Or do you have fat stacks of cash? Let me know. Please be sure to leave a comment, drop a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've been a Bone, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!